Hi, my name is Wanjiro Ragoi, and I'm a business lady and also I'm a pastor's wife. And we've been married for 1 year, 1 month.
Hi, my name's Charles Ragoi. I'm a pastor at Fortress Assembly under Apostle Dennis and Revli. We work together with them, and I'm also into real estate. We met in church. We met in church. I was in a space of, I don't want to say I was desperate looking for a wife, but I was in that space of, okay, now this is the time. So I saw her in church, but I was a bit Easter Rukia. I'm not just going to go. Like everybody else was like, hey, do you have your number? Because she was kind of new when she came in church. And so everyone was like asking for her number. And I was like, no, not now. Let me just wait. If it's going to be, it's going to be. And that was it. And so time passed by. Actually, Alikua Ananilenga. I used to go like probably in the kitchen and just say hi to everyone. And she was not. So everyone is saying, hi, how are you? Hi. And she's just like, yeah, whatever. So, so one day we were at a crusade and so everyone was actively, and so I saw her sitting on the van. And so I went and just sat next to her. And then we started talking. I was just like, oh, so hi, so what do you do? And it was more of business. So the engagement was more on business. And so I found out what she was doing at that time, what she was selling. And so I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. So I told her, oh, okay, so then just go find out about this thing, something we're talking about, and then you can get back. In my head, I'm like, okay, this is an opportunity to ask for the number. But I was like, no, I'm not, I'm still not going to. So I thought if she gets the feedback, then we can meet next Sunday and then she can tell me about the feedback. And so she went, and I think on that Monday, she got my number from a friend of hers, and she texted me, hey, this is so and so, and about the business, this is what is done, blah, blah. And so I'm like, oh, okay, so fine. And then now moving forward, I saved her number. So moving forward, I started seeing her status and, commenting here and there, just testing the waters, seeing how things are. And so, yeah, that's how it kind of started.
So I'd seen this guy in church, but tuko zile za, no, I don't think tunaweza rhyme or anything, but so I'll start with the part ya open air, the crusade part. So I was just sitting, nilikuwa nimechoka miguu. Akakuja and we started talking about the business I was doing then. Nilikuwa a distributor somewhere and he was interested. He was like, this is something I can invest in. Can we talk about it? And we started talking about it. So the following day, after ameniambia nimpatie feedback, the following day ndo nilitafuta namba yake and I gave back the feedback and that's it. Hapo ndo tulianza.
I think I was the one just trying to chokoza when I was seeing the status and trying to comment here and there. Of course, you see many people's status, but you don't, some are funny, some are good, but you don't actually comment on everyone. But this one, I was like, oh, okay, let me just see how this one goes. So I think, yeah, I can say I started kuchokoza kwa umbali. So we met, I think, in May.
Yeah.
Or rather, we started, the convos in May. So June was my birthday month. And so she offered to take me out for lunch. And so I can say that's how kind of things started rolling. Yeah. Siwezi kata lunch ya bure, so yeah, anyway. Yeah, I think that's how, yeah, things started rolling. So I had kind of dated someone, and it didn't go as planned, because especially in church setup, you don't date for just wasting people's time. But of course, you can't force yourself into something that probably is not working for you. And so her coming into this new setup, this church, and finding this guy, of course she'll have, probably confide with a friend, okay, how is this guy? What's going on? And so because of that story of that relationship, not really, so she was kind of a bit also skeptical. Would I also be part of that that we start something and then at some point then it breaks. So it was a bit of a friction to start with. But then again, I also didn't want to put much pressure because of that scenario. So I also didn't want to put much pressure on this. I just wanted to see how that goes. That's why there was no, would you be my girlfriend? Would you, you know? So I just wanted to see, let's see how this one goes. I don't want to put any pressure on it. I don't want to, you know, let's just go with the flow and see how this is it. And so we started off, but immediately I started seeing maybe there's a chance. So I involved my pastors and I told them, okay, there's someone and this is the person and I'm thinking about it, but I'm just taking it slow. My pastors were also not, they also wanted me to be sure. So they gave me like an ultimatum until December. So I was in school at that time. And so in December was when I was graduating. So my pastor told me, if by December everything is still working out, just let us know. So we started off, it was a bit on a rocky place, quote unquote, not being trusted fully that I want to take this to the next level. So she also had her fears, which are obviously understandable. So it was a bit rocky when it started. We had our good moments, of course. We had our not so good moments. But the moment that I decided this is it, even in the bad moments, I still was like, I don't have any other option. I actually used to tell her, like, I don't have any plan B. So if this does not work, then it does not work. But it's not like if it does not work, then I move on to the next. So I don't have any plan B. This is it. So yeah, one of my ways of trying to prove that this is it was in the rocky moments where, she would hear what happened to the previous and come and ask. And so I'll be like, I'm here to stay. I'm not just trying it out. And of course, we are all naive at some point, or we can't just jump into believing everything just because someone has said it or because and before then I was not a pastor. So, things were just, so it wasn't, I can't say it was bed of roses, even the dating period. I can't say it was all smooth and honeymoon. But I think when I look back, it was one of my ways just trying to assure her that I'm in it. So even in the hard moments, I was just trying to I'm still here, regardless of, your feelings, how you're feeling, regardless of if you're not fully trusting me because of, what the past or whatever. I'm still trying to be here. Unless now we decide this is not it, I'm here. I'm here to stay. So there was that pull and pull, push and pull. And so that was one of the hardest, moments. But, we just took every day at a time. We were not meeting much. I was staying in Ngong. She was staying in Kimbo, Thika Road. So I used to go to church. Our church is in Ruiru. So I used to go to church every Sunday. So you see, we're not seeing each other most of the time during the week. And so our quote-unquote dates or hanging out were only on Sundays after church now. So, of course, you're at your element. Sometimes after church, you're tired, probably because of responsibilities here and there. And so by that time, when you're going out on a date, you're kind of spent, like for better word. So you're not giving your best. So either I'm down, I'm going through whatever, or she's down. So it was just God's grace that we passed through that stage. Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't easy, but it's a good thing to just look back and thank God and just say, oh, okay, so we come out little boy here, then there's nothing we can't. Yeah.
He said after our pastors told him that after amejua if it's true, if this is it, waende wamwone. Like he goes and meets them. So tukaenda for a meeting with them, and I thought the meeting was like tunaambiwa how to date or something, but tulifika hivi kwa meeting and our apostle was like, so harusi ni lini? And that's when we planned the dates. Tukaplan kila kitu hapo. We told our parents hiyo siku and they were okay with it. And yeah, that's where the planning started.
So this is in January. We're having the meeting.
Yeah.
And the wedding is
in
May. And so it was a bit, there were some concerns, especially in my family, like, why are you rushing this thing? You know, why is this? You know, I had calls from even a relative from abroad. Hey, boss, what's up? What's going on? Like, aren't you hurrying it? Like, it can't just wait. You know, everything is moving so fast. We had a meeting, like, you know, with some of the wazers from family, my brother, my cousins, and so, you know, we were talking, okay, don't you think this is too fast? And so, like, you know, this is it, you know, let's just get over with it. And so they became, okay, now let's gloves off the table, everything down. So now, tuambie ukweli, umewekana mimba ama why you know? And I was like, no, like, you know, that's not the case. Are you sure? Because, you know, because it seemed like it was too fast. But I think it's also the dynamics of, you know, like Christian dating is can be a bit tricky sometimes. One of the reasons why men or people are told not to stay long is because you can compromise and, you know, find yourself in tricky situations. So it's usually a catch-22 kind of a scenario. So there are those that can stay for long even without, but you just advised don't take too much time. If you've decided, then there's no other deciding 2 months down the line. There's no other deciding 1 year down the line. If this is it, then this is it. So if everything works out, if your parents are good to go, then, you know, just go with it. So yeah, that's how it was. Her parents also were a bit okay, but, you know, she managed to say no, you know, and everybody was convinced and everybody was on board, and so we started planning.
Convincing my mom was a whole job. Juu anasema mbona mnanipanga? No, you have to wait. Pia mimi I need to plan myself because it's also her day because I'm the only daughter. Yeah. So it was a job first to convince my parents, walikuwa skeptical about it, and secondly it was tough for me. First of all, he's a very patient guy because in our church I used mtu tu out of nowhere anakuja ananiambia this guy is not good, sijui he has done this and this and this, so naona hiyo inaniweigh down and napeleka hiyo stress yote kwake, and he's like, no, I'm telling you it's you, please kubali ni wewe. Like it was a back and forth for a while, even kwa hiyo time ya planning. So in that time when we were planning for the wedding, I felt like we were alone. It was tough. Finances at first hazikuwa. It was so hard. I remember I used to cry in his car almost every Sunday. Naenda najificha tu nalia kwa gari yake because I felt like we were alone, but ni shetani ndo anafanya ikae ni kama you are alone because you are planning something good. Yeah, but all in all, at the end of it, God ali come through and we had an overflow of the finances. Everything went great and we thank God.
When you start something, there's an expectation that you have. You know, for my side, there was some money I thought I would get by then. So I'm like, okay, January, February, March, April, by May, I'll have something. So I'm actually planning in my head, if I don't get any other money, we'll use this, hata kama tutakuja church and just get joined or whatever and just go home. Like, at the back of my mind, have a plan A and a plan B. So that was my plan B. Actually, that was my only plan. Because there was no, I don't know how to put, I don't want to say that we were in a, that we don't have backup per se, but you know, you can know, even your family, you can know, oh, right now, probably they're not doing so much well, so I'm not expecting so much, maybe just gifts. And also on her side, because the mom had told her, you're going to wait for me until Ejipanga, so that, so coming from also that, you're like, okay, maybe they will not also be able to do much. So there's a perception that you already have, not because they don't love you, but because of probably the dynamics, how short the period was and everything. Everyone was crying out about it was a short period of time. So when you hear everyone saying it's a short period, then you're like, okay, fine. You now start working now backwards. Now, where do we start? What do we need? I need a suit. How much of a suit do I need? She needs a gown. How much? And so on and so forth. So it really felt like at that moment, many things were happening. In church, there were, of course, projects here and there. So people are giving towards the projects. Families, probably hear death there, or things, So a lot was happening. Somehow, funnily, a lot was happening that period. That it came to place that we were now accepting that, let's now start figuring out how we're going to do small scale, something small, just something neat, and then we get away with it. Yeah. And so in one sense, we understand. In another sense, we feel like people are not really backing us up. And so it's a fight, and you're just trying. She used to come when you're in church during those breaks. She asks for my car keys, goes to the car and just cries the whole time. And so at some point I'm looking for her. I go, hey, what's up? And then she's just feeling heavy. She's feeling people are not contributing, as we had expected. And it was crazy. And so, but then again, you meet your premarital counselors, and they're telling you this period is normally that way. Yeah. It's usually tough. It's usually just the enemy trying to bring a rift or bring a confusion or bring doubts, actually. And so it becomes a bit, so it was kind of that period. Of course, when you're told, you will hear, but theory and practicality sometimes don't match up. Yeah. So you hear and you understand, but in the practicality part, you're like, I know there's something not right. And so it was crazy. But then, coming into now, planning even the Rashio. I remember Rashio, when we were going in, I think a day before, people started it's like it was just something that people started they started, sending in money, and it was just crazy. It was just, and these are the things that sometimes God does to just encourage you that I'm kopekenyu, you're not by yourself. Okay. And so that was one of the markers, like when we thought our rush would just be just going and just probably giving nothing much, then God comes through and you go there. And one of the things is that we didn't get much pressure from the family. Our bishop does not like giving many pressures to, people who want to get married. So, there are those conversations that he makes with them, especially now we are under the same church, so we are under him. So he knows her parents. So he goes and, has a candid conversation. Let's not make it, because the moment you make it tough, then these people feel the burden is too heavy. And then they run away and start life, and they start, whatever, and which is not, our ideal culture. And so those are some of the things that really helped us, even when we were going in, we didn't get so much, hassle. Of course, they're the things, they're the principles that, sit down, and they're bare minimums that we have to meet, so that we don't take advantage of, their kindness. So it was a good one. It was a good one. Of course, mentally it was draining, because you're trying to look left, right, and center, nothing is coming through. But just when you thought everything was crashing down, God comes through. And so it was an amazing experience. Yeah.
My parents were excited. Kwanza, the fact that they realized I'm getting married to a pastor, that's a big deal. And now he's the only pastor in our family. And to us, that's a major. Karibu wanipeane bure. Mchukueni hatutaki kitu. Yeah, ilifika. At first they didn't know who he is until nikawaelezea, and they understood. And the fact that he's from church, ni mtu wa kanisa, that's it. To them ni hivyo, mmemalizana. Kwanza the fact that he's a pastor, that's everything to them. And I feel like it was a soft moment for me because the pressure was from their side, not our side. Because, yeah, I think for me it was okay. It was a nice experience. And the fact that many people showed up for me, it really meant something. Yeah.
The wedding day, it looked like a dream for me. It's funny enough, I have always wanted to have a wedding. So Joe Rambongo, the women are the ones that, I want to have funny enough, from back then I was like, I need to walk down the aisle. And so to me it was like a dream. The whole day it just was a dream. So the previous night we had a huge fight. Oh my goodness. We had like the previous day
Before the wedding.
we had a Mungu wangu. But at the back of the mind, if you know this is it, and you have to fight for this, then these are the last kicks of our dying horse. So we have to go through this. And so we wake up in the morning and we text each other, hey, I'm ready, I'm getting ready. I'm ready to see you at the aisle. So I hope you have not changed your mind. But yeah, whatever happened, the state sour, but today is our day. And so to me, it seemed like a dream. Just looking at the journey, how we got there, it didn't seem like it was going to happen. So it seemed like, my brother was my best man. So he's, we're doing the shots and, I'm wearing the clothes and then I go downstairs to the house we were in. I go downstairs and the best men, the other groomsmen are there. And I'm feeling it, but I'm not feeling it. I'm still waiting for someone to pinch me or wake me up. And so I'm in that place, like all attention is on me, and I don't know how that feels like. And so I'm just there. We get into the car, we go, and until so we get there, and I see one of my cousins. There was some delays with getting her, but finally they got in. And so when they came, one of my cousins that I had not seen for a while sees me, and then I have to say hi before I get in because of course the men get in first, and so she's still in the car, she hasn't got out, and so my cousin sees me, and so I see her. When I go to hug her, then I think everything now breaks, all the emotion comes in, and so I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad, so now everything falls in, like I wish they were here, and for like about 5 minutes I was just pouring everything. But it helped me so that at the altar wasione nikilia misiliangi. Anyway, so yeah, but because we were outside, so not many people saw me do that. So yeah, but at that moment it was like, I just wish my parents were here. So it was a bit heavy for me, but once that was done, I just said, you know what, this is a day, let me get in. And so having the camera on you, to me, it's not easy. I don't know how to, I don't know, I'm not used to it, so I don't know how that looks or how it feels like. So I had to ask God, just help me through this day. I don't want to think about anyone, because the more you think, the more you blunder. The more you think that you're dancing, am I dancing nice? The more you dance your own things. So I just I don't care. After you dance, it's my day. So I get in, we did the ceremony, and the decor was amazing. Like the decor was good. We had what we paid for. We get more than what we paid for. People came in more than we expected, and there was no shortage in anything. Like it was, like when we were getting out, when we were done, and we were going home, like there's no one who's coming, hey, you need to pay up, you need to do, like there was nothing, and everyone was fed, everyone, like it was, we had prepared for 300 packs, and the cook or the person who was catering told us there were over 500 people, actually more than 500 people. And so I was like, what? So how did you manage? And he said, we just managed, we served, and so it was just one. But for me, it was all a dream. So I have to really go back and really remember. But it was amazing. Like everything was just, and I decided. Of course, we are being told by the paramilitary counselors that it is not for you to find out whether sijui there is enough food or sijui whether, no, it is your day, you just sit. You sit, you go, say the vows, come sit, eat, dance if you have to, get the gifts and go home. It is not your duty to find out, oh, has Nani come? No. There are people. So so that's exactly what personally I did. And I was like, I don't, but I got a chance to speak to actually I didn't ask him. He's the one who came and said, hey, you guys are blessed. I'm like, oh, what do you mean? Like the people that are here, like there are over 500 guests and you guys, and there's nothing that is, hey, and then mnapenda. I was like, wow. So it was a big deal for us, and yeah, but it was good. It was good.
Hey, first of all, my gown. I was so excited about my gown. Nilikuwa nangoja sana kuivaa. Hata kama ilinichosha by 11 I was tired. I wanted to remove it and we go home, kila mtu aende kwao. Tumemalizana, but I enjoyed my day. It was an amazing day. My girls were amazing. Kwenye tulikuwa, they were encouraging me. They prayed for me in the morning. They prophesied to me in the morning, and it was such a good time. And yeah, like haijai ni hit bado. I think bado wanangoja ini hit. By the way, I usually watch my video like after like 2 weeks. I watch it again. Nione kama bado inani hit. That I got married, and it was such an amazing time for me. I enjoyed every part of it.
I told her getting in, like, there's a lot we have had, there's a lot we have learned, there's a lot we have seen, but can we just leave everything at the door and enter and start our own culture, our own whatever? But it wasn't easy, because even though that was I wanted that for us to just leave everything that we know about marriage, and just come and start us, it wasn't just as easy as that. So I also found out, I also have some expectations, of course, when maybe the table is not right, I'm thinking, okay, see, I got married, see, then I have to like rewire myself. I'm like, wait, it's not anyone's role, because we are all in the same house. But she had more than I did. I tried to shed off. Of course I did, but I tried to shed off mine. But she had more. But yeah, they were bringing some frictions here and there. Princess treatment.
Yeah, exactly. And the man I got is the introvert of the introverts. Sasa yeye anapenda akae kwa kona peke yake, and he just takes his time, I relax, and me I'm just there. Kwani haunishiki? Kwani we are not talking? Kwani we are not going to cuddle and all that? And I came to realize he doesn't know some of these things, because where he grew up, there was no love. So I have to teach him some of these things. And imekuwa a journey, a long one. But right now, I thank God, because I'm seeing the results of being patient, being patient and trying to understand where he's coming from, trying to understand that he's not my enemy. Just because ameketi kwa kona and he feels like relaxing doesn't mean like he's my enemy ama nimemkasirisha or something. So I'm getting there day by day. Yeah.
It's just getting to know, like, there's what I expect in my wife, but also I need to also learn my wife, because not all women are the same. I have probably maybe dated people who know how to cook, and here maybe I'm meeting someone who doesn't know how to cook. So do I bring those expectations on her, or how can I deal with this? Because probably, even as she's saying, probably her background was not wired for what I'm expecting. So how can I expect something that is not from her, something that she does not know? She does not know maybe to put on heels. How can I force her? No, you're a pastor's wife, you need to put on heels. She probably does not know, whatever it is that maybe I'm expecting her. So it's just for me, or for us actually, to just know that we have a lifetime. So if I'm putting all this pressure on you now, like I need you to change now, what about tomorrow? What are we changing tomorrow? See, to change it Leo, then tomorrow we have this. By the time we're having 5, 10, 15 anniversaries, then things are lining up. Then at the end of the day, it's not for me to change now, because even the process also matters. For me, changing, transitioning, it becomes meaningful when I learn and do what she expects me, or what she would need from me. Her love language is probably quality time, words of affirmation, and even, and touch at some point. I don't know some of these things. I don't know, touch. To me, touch, even my dad, tulikuwa namshika mkono, we tuende, si kila mtu na. So there's some things maybe you don't quite know. But you see, if I do it because I want to please her, it's not gonna last. So I need to grow into it, and I ask her to be patient with me. Then we grow into it, so that when I grow into it, then I learn it. When I learn it, then it becomes part of me. But if I'm doing it just instantly, I kid you not, I'm going to do today, tomorrow, but the third day, tumerudi back to square one. Why? Because it's a, so I think it's one of the things that I've learned, that there are things that she needs from me. There are things that she expects from me as a husband. Of course, they're not going to come now, but there's a work I need to do, and vice versa. And just knowing how to complement one another.
I knew he was a neat guy. Huku naingia gari yake karibu toe viatu because of the way it's clean. Eh? He's a neat guy and he loves God. He loves God. Yani, I learned from him a lot. Kwanza in terms of ministry, like I learn a lot from him. And the other thing, he's a giving person. Mtaketi hivi kwa nyumba, unapata wardrobe yake, umeenda kupanga, it's empty. Alipeana kila kitu na yeye hana, amebaki bila. Like, he's a giving person, and I love that about him. And I love the fact that he wants to learn me, and he wants to continue learning how to love me, and that's something that it's a great impact in my life here. Yeah.
Before marriage, I knew that she was a go-getter. I knew that she would, whatever she puts her mind to, she will do. In marriage, I get to find one that she's actually discerning, and when she tells you something, I don't feel like this is it. You better listen, because if you don't, then it will come bite you again. So I've learned that from her. She can be cheeky, not in a bad way. She can be cheeky. She can be playful. She has some zinaitangwa not disses. What are they called? Those funny, you ask a question, unapata jibu ingine, you're like, what? Where? Jesus is Lord. Yeah, but yeah, which to me, I don't, I love it. When she throws those jabs, I'm like, well, okay, at least I'm in good hands, so that like it doesn't seem like we're just having normal conversations. Hey, habari mzuri, umeshinda aje? Those ones, umeenda kunichukulia maji? Nimeenda kunini? Something, like, wow. Yeah, but yeah, she has that a lot, and she's spontaneous. One moment, she can actually come and tell you a story. I'm like, do you know? And then when you see the facial expression, you're like, it's okay, sir. What happened? And only to hear the end, and you're like, seriously, I was expecting something, Yeah, so I love that about her. Yeah.
Chakula.
Oh, yeah, chakula.
Please.
I'm one blessed man. Hapo kwa food. Hata apike kokoto na uji itakuwa tamu. I guarantee you. Yeah, so that I love about her. The other day, my cousin calls me and says, "Hey, how are you guys doing? So what's going on?" I'm thinking, "Yeah, we're good." So, what? So, I'm like, "Yeah, we're good." And yeah, then ni nini mnatuweka? And then, yeah, anakuja. So, but we haven't set like timelines per se, but we are working on it. Before working with our pastors, people we look at their marriage. So our pastors both have had previous marriages and they ended. So they got one another. And it's like they were meant for each other.
Yeah.
So we always learn. We are always learning. We are always looking at them. We are looking at how Apostle is treating our Rev and vice versa. How we are learning. Like we are in. Actually, most of the times when we are probably in heated arguments, one of the things that helps me is like I'm thinking, hey, there's no way I can disappoint Kina Apostle. I have to make this work because they have. It's not like they have told us by words, but they have also showed us thing is workable.
Yeah.
This is how you do. This is how you resolve conflict. This is how. So it's not like we are handicapped in information about marriage. We are hearing it and we are seeing it. And then now, like what we can call working with is those couples that we mentioned. We have a group of about 4 couples that are, okay, what is 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
2 years.
the oldest is 2 years. Then we have,
No, they are 3.
oh, yeah, 3, then 2, then 1.5, and then now us 1 year, 1 month. So we are the youngest couple. So you see that age bracket is not that badly off. So that whatever they are going through is basically what we are going through, or they have already passed through that stage.
Yeah.
So when we have those gatherings that we have probably in a fortnight or maybe once a week, we get to understand that whatever it is that probably is ailing us at this moment is something other people have gone through and they have overcome. So actually when they're talking as a joke. They're actually laughing about it. Yet as we stand, it is a heated issue in our house. So when we see that, when we hear such story, you're like, okay. So it's not, whatever we are going through is not isolated. It's not a one-off kind of a situation. It's something that happens. And so they share how they how they would solve that issue or what they did to overcome that. Sometimes they say we haven't gone through this yet or we haven't overcome this yet. So by hearing such conversation, like, oh, okay. So we are not badly off. We are not off track. We are still on the same journey. So that has really helped us a lot.
And
Yes.
also marriage counselors. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
The first challenge is communication, because I feel like at times naweza sema kitu and I'm from Kirinyaga and sometimes we are rude, but
We
we
sound
have a
rude.
lot. Yeah, we sound rude, but we have a lot of love when you are saying it. So to him ndo tufike hapo kwa understand the fact that I'm from there, ime take
Chukua
time.
mkono wa Bwana.
Yeah, because I would say something, aone ni kama I'm attacking him and I'm not. I'm just speaking.
So one day we went to Kirinyaga. I don't know, we were buying something. And so this one lady comes and he asked me, I think we wanted to buy a shirt or something. And so I don't know the size because unless I fit it, some you can fit a large one, na ikutoshe. Some you can fit a medium, na ikutoshe. So I don't know. So she comes and asks, yako ni size gani? And so like, I'm not so sure because of different companies have different sizes. So I'm like, I'm not so sure. When I go to size yako ni, there's a way she talked and I was like, eh. But when you look at her facial expression, she's not hata hana ubaya. And so that was one of the things that she told me, unaona hata huyo, you see how we are, hatunanga ubaya. It's just that how we talk sometimes
Yeah.
can. And then, yeah, so that has been a challenge for us, of course, in terms of also conflict resolution. As I was telling you, we are both right. I'm hurt, I'm right. She's hurt, she's right. But how do we get this to, so amesimama na mimi nimesimama, so hakuna mtu ana bow down.
Yeah.
No, I'm right, I'm hurt, and no, I'm, you know, so those are the challenges that we have been, you know, we had and we are working through, and they're getting better, and allow me to say, it's not bad. Like, if you stay with someone for a while, you have to, lazima mtafika mahali, you have to get frictions.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It does not mean that's the end of it. It does not mean now,
You
okay,
don't
fine,
love
let
each
me pack,
other.
let me go. No,
Yeah.
it just means that there's something that you guys need to put your attention to. There's something that is not, you know, that's it. It's not, it doesn't have any other meaning behind it. It's just, you guys pay attention to this, solve it, and move on. That's it.
I love you so much. Sometimes life inaweza kaa ni kama inaisha, inakaa ni kama it's the end, but I just want you to know that I love you, and I'm glad I'm doing this with you. I'm glad you are my pastor. I learn a lot from you, and yeah, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your leadership. You're doing an amazing job. I'm so proud because you are working each and every day to make me feel happy, to be better just for me. It's an amazing thing, and I love you.
Oh,
And I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you.
tissues. One thing I have told you is that you draw something out of me that I have normally hidden.
Yeah.
That I don't want, I feel uncomfortable it being revealed. But there's a way you draw it from me. And it's not easy, but it's a good challenge. You know, not everything that is good has to be easy. But I know, because God needs me to be the best that I can. And so he placed you in my life that you can draw that I have tried to hide for many years. But you draw that, the good things in me, the bad things in me, just that I may be perfect. And that is something that I'll always cherish. And I thank God for you every day. I thank God for just allowing me to experience what you bring. I love your smile. I love your witty jokes. I love your food, your cooking. Hey, yeah. And I just love how we are growing, how we are learning one another, and how we are understanding that we are not against each other, and that we are a team regardless of the many, so the hurdles and the frictions. And so, yeah, I love you so much, and thank you for kunikubali regardless of the many usinichukue, but yeah, thank you for accepting me, and thank you for allowing, is it for marrying me or for me marrying you? Okay, that one, for getting married to me. Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Hallelujah.
And that's our love story.